And a really interesting part about what you have going on is you've acquired basically your whole block there. You've renovated one of the buildings, which we can talk about, and you've sold that off. But to me, this whole redevelopment is, I think, the most exciting part, and why I really wanted to talk to you today because you're you're combining entrepreneurship with real estate development, and I think you see this a lot in different businesses where these guys or women will create these businesses. They'll work there for 20, 30 years, and then when they retire they're left with the real estate, and oftentimes the largest part of that retirement comes from the real estate, not the actual business. So to me, when I see this, I'm like, okay, this is a massive opportunity here for this, not only for you obviously in your enterprise, but for this neighborhood. So the true value we're talking about in this particular piece of property is basically at kind of the corner of Bush Boulevard in Nebraska. It's on the north side of Bush. It's on the east side. And explain kind of how you got this property. It's a historic property, been there, I think you said 60 years, and you've totally redeveloped it, and then you have more development on the east side to come.
Yeah, well, originally I started with a company called Dry 24 Water Restoration. So we started probably back in September 2015, somewhere around those areas. In 2022, 2023, we decided that we wanted to add some different profit centers. Try to grow horizontally and then vertically. And in doing so, I went to something called the Entrepreneurship Magazine, and I looked at the franchise top 500, and I looked at the top franchises, and one that popped out was Ace Hardware, and then True Value was right there too because it's the same type of sector. So we decided to go that way. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars at Home Depot and Lowe's. So, we'd go in and we tear out a house and then we put it back together. And a lot of times I was going into Home Depot or Lowe's, and when I go in, they ran the other way, and
Yeah.
so I decided to do that. But one big problem I had, and then anybody who's familiar with commercial real estate understands that finding an actual property is a challenge. It's a real challenge, especially when you're talking about commercial properties. There's only so many properties. And then I had a high criteria that if I was going to do this, that I wanted to own the actual real estate.
Yeah.
So that was like a non-negotiable for me. So I started talking to True Value, and they were familiar with Shell's feed store, and so I called Mr. Shell. This is before he decided and made it public that he was selling the property, and I called him, and he said, "Yeah, I'm getting ready to list it. You can buy the property, but you have to pay my price, and then you can't just buy the store. You got to buy the block." I looked at him and I said, "Yes." I mean, I had done the research. I think for anybody that's trying to get into real estate and understanding it, you've got to do a lot of research going in and know the real estate market.
Yeah.
Uh, I kind of looked up the property on CoStar and kind of did my due diligence. And at first, I mean, it kind of looked like an ugly duckling at first.
Sure.
At first, I wasn't that interested in it. And then I drove by and just saw how beautiful of a building it was. It had great
So
bones.
you had a vision for it in the very beginning.
Well, at first, no. At first, I wasn't sure. I wasn't that familiar with the area, and then I drove by there, and then it looked. One building was red and white, the other one was blue, the other was green, the other was beige.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, yeah, but but I mean, when I first started in real estate, I got started with ugly ducklings.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people look on the exterior, but I started looking at the opportunity to actually own a whole block. I mean, that's something that the type of opportunity that you really don't get an opportunity to do.
So
It,
is this what it looked like when you were looking at it to purchase it?
exactly.
So for people just listening, it's yeah. I mean, there's a there's a blue building with a green roof,
Yeah, that was a
there,
mattress store.
a
So like,
mattress store, turquoise building, Shell's Feed, which is their kind of iconic checkered red and white. It's just a total. I mean, it looks, yeah. All the buildings are completely independent. There's no cohesive look to them.
yeah. So initially I was looking at it and I wasn't 100% sure. Um, and then I went inside of it. This was a feed store, and he actually kept like, if you know about chicks or if you've been to Rural King or anything like that, they have chicks in there. You've got feed, so it's 60 years of feed. I mean,
Hmm.
but I'm looking at the place, and then the opportunity to purchase a block, and then I had the water restoration business, and I've always wanted to do something in the community. If you think about it, I mean, a lot of times people talk about problems, but I wanted to kind of be the solution. Have a chance to actually try to contribute to something. So
There's a lot of that, isn't there? I mean, been a lot of talk over many, many decades about types of solutions and what are we going to do and we need to do this. You kind of move past all that and did the damn thing yourself.
yeah, I mean, I decided to take a chance. I mean, it was in an urban area, but I thought I was helping the block, but the block has been like helping me. It's one of those things that people are so grateful that we were willing to invest, hundreds of thousands of dollars into the property. And then you can get the same thing that you can get in South Tampa and North Tampa in my store.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same exact brands. But it was a serious project, a serious undertaking. We painted all the buildings, we added stone, we treated it just, when you do real estate, you have to make a decision how far you want to go with
Right.
it. And we decided to go all the way. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it had a lot of opportunity, and it did. I mean, we if you go, this was the mattress store. It's like inside this place, we remodeled that completely.
This
But
is 2018 here we're looking at. Is there a
yeah,
way to fast forward that timeline to see what it looks like today? They might not have it updated on here. You can see it from an aerial, but I'm wondering if you could see it from kind of the street view of what it looks like today. But I want to ask you a question, and like you say, taking it all the way, meaning putting the extra money in, you don't necessarily have to actually make it a beautiful block and to make it a really nice place for not only yourself and your business, but for the community. Now, some people, when they see something nice going up, I've heard them talk about like gentrification and how it's a negative thing. I don't see it that way. I think, when someone comes in and makes an investment into any particular neighborhood and makes it a more beautiful place, to me, that's a great thing. To me, it's inspiring. The people that live in the community get to drive by something nice. It's fresh, it's new, it's exciting. But I'm an optimist. Did you run up to any opposition?
well, yeah. At first, it was a little bit of opposition, but I mean, we started respecting the block and the neighborhood. You look at a lot of businesses that go into these type of neighborhoods, they're trying to extract out. They don't care about the neighborhood. So we
Yeah.
we made certain commitments when we did it. I mean, it took approximately 6 to 9 months to get everything back and be ready to open. But we started picking up the trash. Like, it's something that we still do to this day. We walk around the block and pick up the trash. The neighbors see us painting the buildings, upkeeping, redoing the parking lot. And once we did that, they started to respect the neighborhood. There was some crime there or whatnot, but we let people know that you can do what you do, but not on this block. You're going to respect the block. There's not going to be any loitering. There's not going to be any other type of activities. I mean, Nebraska's a tough area,
Yeah.
but I mean, it has great bones. If you look at North Tampa, if someone asked me like where would I choose to invest, I think that the biggest upside is actually in North Tampa now.
Hey guys, if you want to watch the full episode of this clip, click right here. Make sure to subscribe by clicking right here. Thank you for watching.